Outside of the cool factor, Ultra Instinct has one of the worst concepts as well as executions in Dragon Ball. I'm gonna stop you there. Oh my god. What the are these takes, gang? The concept of Ultra Instinct is bad. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, on a special edition of Hot Takes. We are currently having a potential special YouTube edition of Hot Takes. I'm gonna read the super chats first because you know that's law. Whether it's 50 or even it's a scooter looter tutor with 2. I appreciate all of the super chats, man. Appreciate all the subscriptions. Appreciate all of the members. Appreciate all the love, support. Appreciate every like that this video will potentially get, man. The Saiyan Saga and the Namek Saga are the only arcs with no flaws and are the peak of storytelling when it comes to Dragon Ball. No flaws is crazy. I ain't gonna lie. Zero perfect? Ain't nothing perfect in this world. Now, if we had to go to the most flawless, I'll even gonna go a step further and agree with you. The Saiyan Saga is probably the least flawed. The Saiyan Saga from start to finish is the best paced. Start to finish has the most character interaction. The Saiyan Saga from start to finish also has the most built up and paid off story in the same arc. However, the idea that like the Namek Saga is flawless is kind of crazy. And this isn't me necessarily hating on the Namek Saga, but the Namek Saga is very drawn out. The Namek Saga has very questionable ends justify the means ass shit going on with it. So like, for example, why did they wish for Piccolo to go to Namek, not 100% confirming how strong he was? That's just dumb. You would reset everything. You would literally reset everything. The goal of Namek was to resurrect everybody. Piccolo is the most important person to resurrecting everybody. If Piccolo dies on Namek, not only does that likely mean that you lost the fight on Namek, meaning you really lost everybody, but you also lost... Stupid. There's just small shit like that. Obviously, the 5 minutes. I wouldn't say Namek is flawless, but it's definitely 2 great arcs from Dragon Ball Z and 2 great arcs in anime in general. Dragon Ball Path to Power is the best Dragon Ball movie by far. We haven't seen Dragon Ball Path to Power yet on stream. I've seen it personally. I don't think it's the best movie. In fact, to give you my hot take, look, man, we can say whatever you want about that anime. Super movies stomp hilariously. The super movies disgustingly stomp, but Path to Power is a fantastic movie from what I remember. Buu Saga, best saga. I feel like this is a direct reaction to all of my friends saying the Buu Saga was the worst in Z. I'm not gonna lie, I don't see how the Buu Saga is the best. I don't see that. Now, it could be your favorite. I can't make you like something more than something else. But when we're talking about the word best, nah. The stories in it aren't as in-depth and or something to get behind. You could very much look at Goku's path to finding a successor as Goku being a troll. You could adore every Vegeta scene and it still wouldn't necessarily be enough. Yeah, no, I don't see it being the best saga, but it definitely has some high moments for sure. The Goku versus Tien fight at the 22nd Budokai Tenkaichi is the perfect 5-star fight in Dragon Ball that checks off everything from the characters, quality, yap. Goku versus Tien, to me, unironically, of the 3 major Budokai fights, is probably the worst to me. I know that's like worst means bad to some of you, but no, I think the Budokai Tenkaichi tournaments in OG Dragon Ball are all fantastic, and I don't think Tien was the best. I think something has to be the worst, and therefore it's the worst, but it's not bad. I say that to say, if all the fights got dog, I definitely think, not even Goku Piccolo, Goku Roshi does what you want best. Goku Roshi has a perfect narrative to it, a narrative that would go on to still matter today, even in the manga it matters. Goku Roshi has some of the best techniques used, personality. I think Goku Roshi low-key stomps in everything you're talking about, let alone the music. Oh, yeah, I think Goku Roshi, even the ending, someone brought up the truck ending, even the ending to Goku Tien isn't quite hitting like how the Goku Roshi fight ended. So I actually would say no, because Goku Roshi to me does what you want if we're talking about OG Dragon Ball, really any fight. Gohan is actually decently written and not wasted, as since he was younger, he never wanted to fight and just pursued his studies plus have a normal life. I definitely paraphrased it. He was just forced to fight and get stronger for his family to protect the earth. Yeah, that just straight up is true. Yeah, but do I think that makes him decently written in his entirety? No, that just makes that specific arc decently written. The reason why I don't think Gohan overall is greatly written over time, at some point, they literally backpack off of, hey, you have potential, LOL. You could be the strongest whenever you want, LOL. And in fact, we're going to do it for you today. Bam, he's the strongest. So I think retelling me this story of Gohan being out of shape, training whatever he wants equals strongest, at some point that shit gets old, and I think that's when they got a little lazy with the character. Now, do I think he's still overall a bad written character? No, I think he's okay. Yajirobe is the best character. I refuse to believe you think that. And like I said earlier, I can't tell you what your opinion on things are. And I can't tell you what you like, but I can tell you I think you're lying. Oh, I thought we evolved, man. I'm on Team Rage Defender. That beep was simply because I feel like you're trying to kill me. Based on how it's depicted, it looked like Super Saiyan 2 with traces of... Oh my God, y'all are not done. Y'all are not done with this. What is up with y'all in this obsession to draw whatever narrative thread you need to draw to make this make sense? Nigga, God Key? Why the fuck he got God Key, bro? Wanna know why it doesn't make sense he has God Key? Because if he had God Key, everyone would be like, you feel that, right? Zamasu would. Goku especially would. Go through the Super Anime. Filler, canon, whatever. Every time someone turns Super Saiyan Blue and the other niggas far as fuck, these niggas just, Goku one time's knocked the fuck out. What the fuck going on? Every time. Every time. Even Whis and Beerus acknowledge the shit with, ooh. Everyone acknowledges when someone with God Key is sharing God energy, bro. Now, my stance on this is that it seems perfectly logical for the type of transformation to occur for Trunks. In his timeline, he trained on the world with Kai for X amount of time with the Z Sword, with Shin and Kabuto to prevent Buu. Also, in his timeline, it is inferred that Elder Kai was never released, which is why we don't have Ultimate Trunks. And to add on to that argument, Trunks also was constantly fighting with the deity for the last year being Goku Black. So to say it's implausible for Trunks to have any trace of God Key, even a small amount, and not fully enough to transform to godhood is pretty inconsistent. No, it's not. The opposite actually is, nigga. I'm gonna tell you now, Gohan would have God Key. So that doesn't make sense. He's around Goku and Vegeta, who are just absurdly spamming blue 24/7, 365. Especially in an arc like the Tournament of Power, where everyone is getting these beyond 50 million power increases, whether you like it or not. The idea that none of them would get Essence of God Key is ridiculous. So no, going from Ultimate Trunks to God Key, despite when you really think about it, why would training with the sword give him the stronger power? Anyway, but versus the literal God coming out, but that's besides the point. Exposure to God Key with Goku Black versus literal other characters constantly being around Goku and Vegeta time in and time out, that doesn't make sense. Someone else, some more people would just randomly have that bitch, bro. Just logically speaking, someone else would have Rage, bro. Gohan or Vegeta at one point in time would have unlocked Super Saiyan Rage, bro. Vegeta versus Beerus, who is significantly strong enough to get that done. Or if you don't count that, which some people even try to say he had it there, but definitely Gohan. He would have had that in Superhero. He would have had that, probably, I'm not going to say the Buu arc because that'll trigger y'all, but he would have had that probably against Frieza if he got mad or anything. Like, there's so many times where Gohan plus Rage Boost, the literal thing given to him for the series, would only imply that he would unlock Super Saiyan Rage. Let's see. Let's move on. Outside of the cool factor, Ultra Instinct has one of the worst concepts as well as executions in Dragon Ball. I'm going to stop you there. Oh, my God. What the fuck are these takes, gang? The concept of Ultra Instinct is bad. The way it's built up is pretty lackluster, and the concept itself is pretty similar to things Goku already learned. No, it's not. The whole point is Goku, hey, gang, you don't fight on instinct, and to be honest, you stay letting your guard down, bro. You'll never be an optimized fighter if you, one, always let your guard down, and two, don't let the fight come natural to you. You're a fighting prodigy, you're a fighting genius, so you learn things on the fly. You're low-key smarter than like what people give you credit for in terms of combat, but you don't fight with instinct. You don't fight without thinking about your movement, and that limits what you could do. What? The idea that Ultra Instinct is one of the worst concepts, let alone executions. When we're talking about execution, dog, I mean, obviously, I could just shut you down with saying it broke Twitter, so there's that. Like, how's that poorly executed? But Ultra Instinct is a concept that they then go on to upgrade on with Mastered Ultra Instinct, even though I think the form is uglier. The unveiling of it, the reveal of it, and especially the specified scene is one of the best scenes in Dragon Ball, not even Super Dragon Ball history. The reason Goku can't beat Jiren is because it's just way too overbearing, so it doesn't make Goku like a pub stomper going forth, was another perfectly executed scene. And even when they inevitably win the Tournament of Power, Goku explains that he cannot easily tap back into it. So it's something that we're going to see carried out long term. It's not going to be one of these, okay, he had Super Saiyan 3 last arc, this goes Super Saiyan 4. So at what point is the execution bad, bro? It's just crazy take, crazy take, crazy take, crazy take. The Super 17 arc isn't as terrible as people think. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. GT niggas, you can talk about Baby. If you want to talk about the Universal Spirit Bomb and the Shadow Dragons, go for it. That shit ass. I'm sorry. Super 17. If you don't know why I did that twice, I just showed you how Super 17 fights. He literally, hair out the way, that's how he fights. The most interesting character in that arc isn't Super 17, isn't Goku. It's fucking Android 18, bro. She's not even like wholeheartedly there all the time. She's there for some climactic moments, but it's the fact that she's not consistently there the entire time only adds on to how bad the art truly is, and everything just becomes unbelievable. At some point in time, it's like, damn. Tyler with another 5, did Toriyama or any of the DBS staff ever clarify Super Saiyan Rage at all? No, they didn't. This is a warm take, not gonna lie. Vegeta's Final Flash over Final Atonement. Okay, no, that's a hot take. I disagree. I think the Final Flash was cool, but the Final Flash you're probably referring to, for me, isn't even as cool as Final Flash. And now maybe that's a scorcher, but I think his Final Flash against Jiren in the speech prior to is much cooler than the Final Flash you're referring to. And then either way, the Final Atonement just narratively does a lot more for the character of Vegeta, let alone means more for the character of Vegeta, let alone had a more emotional draw to it. The Final Flash was just like Vegeta last crash out before he lost. You could kind of, in a nasty way, just say it's a cooler version of what he did against Frieza, if you really had to downplay it, and that is downplaying it. But that's my point. This isn't anything we've never seen Vegeta do. So it's like, oh, the Final Flash. Like, it's a new technique, but it's nothing like, it's not a specific emotional scene or technique. Well, it's literally the technique, but the technique is just another fucking key blast, low key. It's nothing we haven't seen before, long story short. I'm not saying that the right way, but it's nothing new over the top compared to the Final Atonement. Is like the most out of character shit for him because it was a matter of what it was built up for. Does that make sense? I hope it does. I probably said that the wrong way. Super Saiyan 3 had the best moments in Z, including Z movie. Okay, that's bullshit. Now, Z movies, you can kind of debate, I guess. I would say no, Super Saiyan does. Actually, no, you can't debate both. Z movies, Super Saiyan, best moments in Z, hell no. You would have to literally back absurdly, and I do mean absurdly, backpack the transformation itself, Gotenks, in the final fight against Kid Buu. So much so that you think it's better than what Super Saiyan does in Dragon Ball Z. Let me tell you something now. Hell no. Super Saiyan stomps both, actually. Super Saiyan has, in my opinion, a better transformation scene. I think most people would say that. It also has better fights, better reveals, better unveilings, better power systems, better displays of like dominance. So like Super Saiyan Vegeta versus Android 19, Super Saiyan Trunks versus Frieza. There's no way. No, I'm not even gonna continue to drag that out. And then for the movies, you're dick sucking the Dragon Fist, bro. Super Saiyan has the jump Vegeta, Gogeta uses. Damn, now I can't. Soul Punisher, Stardust Breaker, whatever the fuck. Super Saiyan even has that, let alone other fantastic techniques in the movies, let alone just straight up kills in the movies. Super Saiyan 3 does not, no, not even close. Super Saiyan moments are peak. They're good, but to say that they have the best moments, no. Future Trunks has as much, if not more potential than Gohan. No, he doesn't. See, now we're doing this thing where we're just going against the narrative as hard as we possibly can. When we say Future Trunks has more potential than Gohan, do you understand how hard you're trying to not listen to the story? Trunks routinely comes back to the future because he cannot handle an issue. And when he powers up, he never is objectively the strongest on the field. Gohan, at least twice, has frame one become the strongest on the field, not only out of anger, but out of everyone saying, yeah, you have the most potential out of any of us. You probably would be the strongest if you put your head down and locked in. You're doing a lot to try to say that Trunks all along has that, especially when Trunks has either dedicated training arcs, like as you said, he has time with the God Key Sword. Time with the God Key Sword. He has moments where he trains with Vegeta. Like, I'm just imagining a scene like that with Gohan. Gohan would be fucking cracked. Gohan in the Goku Black arc would just at some point pub stomp. At some point, Gohan would pub stomp these niggas. So no, now that I really think about it, no, because if I swap Gohan for Trunks, Gohan probably at some point gets some wild ass rage boosts and solos. First hot take on the channel: Spark and Zero is gonna report. Don't you ever say no shit like that ever again in your life. You hear me? Don't you ever. Sparking Zero will be mid. You done lost your mind, nigga. You done lost it. I will get cooked for this, but if we're talking about fighting, just fighting, not narrative, the best fights are an OG hands down. The choreography is better. The use of techniques is better. OG just has hands down the best fights if we're talking about just fights. They're more martial arty. I'll say that, but best, I think y'all downplay a lot of, especially early Z. And when Super wants to, Super could be the head honcho in it. But like, we're talking just fights. Like, for example, Goku Cell, I know people are trying to go back and say it's overrated. Fuck you. That fight's fantastic. Goku Vegeta, Nappa versus the Z Fighters is one of the best pub stompers out there. We have Goku Frieza. I know it drags, but if we're looking at just the fight scenes, the way he's looking at just the fight scenes, that their choreography is fantastic. I don't know if I'm just dying to OG Dragon Ball just because it's more martial arty. I see where you're coming from. It is more martial arty because, you know, that's the main focus of Dragon Ball. Z introduces these literal aliens that don't train, that don't have martial arts prowess at all, or not. That's up to what you value, but I see where you're coming from. I probably would just disagree. Because especially when you say hands down. The Z Fighters are whooping feet on 95% of the Naruto universe. I mean, Dragon Ball itself is whooping on like 95% of most anime verses. This is like an extremely cold take. This isn't that Dragon Ball is the best anime of all time. It's certainly my favorite, but I mean, these niggas in the first arc were blowing up moons and shit. Like, I don't know what to tell you, dog. Like, yeah, a lot of these animes just weren't doing that. Dragon Ball is so goofy, it's fucking broken. Like, 90% of verses ain't got nothing to do with EARLLY, let alone like Beerus and Goku and shit. Okay. Bio Broly isn't a bad movie. Goku Black arc is the best arc in Dragon Ball history. What villain has won so hard that as Zamasu that you need to remove him from the timeline? Also, seeing Goku Black stab Vegeta or when Goku got mad was hype as fuck, bruh. Rage is, you know, rage. Ain't much saving that transformation. But the villains had more potential than repeated tournament arcs in Super. What they got to do with Z, gang? You know what? Fine. Let's say due to, I guess he would have won, bro, that Zamasu solos Dragon Ball Super. What they got to do with Z with at least 2, really 3 antagonists. The only one is Frieza. Every antagonist in Z is shown that they basically win, if not absurd jumping, or even just straight up bullshit. Vegeta gets disgustingly jumped on Earth. He does not lose a one-on-one. Goku's my glorious king, and I think Vegeta fans are very disingenuous when they say he's 3-0, because for me, we all know Goku could have beat Vegeta when he was a Majin, and we all know, or for the most part would assume, especially my manga niggas, that Goku could handle Vegeta right now. However, they only fought in base. So you could really like 3-0 it all you want, but at the end of the day, one thing I personally won't do is ever say Goku would have beat the Saiyan Saga Vegeta. No. Vegeta got jumped to hell. Vegeta got jumped so disgustingly bad, it's not even funny. So when we're talking about dominance there, Vegeta, Frieza loses to Goku. Not 10 out of 10 if those events transpire, 10 out of 10 Frieza loses to Goku. The only way that doesn't happen is if you change how events transpire, aka if you make it to where that he doesn't get hit with the spirit bomb, his friends aren't there, but then it's like, how would they even meet up? So you literally have to change the entirety of the Namek arc. Cell literally comes back from the fucking dead, still debatably is stronger than Teen Gohan to some people, and loses because he just lacked the focus and he got snuck by Vegeta. Kid Buu loses to literally everyone in the universe. So when we're talking about these dominant antagonists, but because he actually won, stop. That's a nasty argument. And then on top of that, just being a gross argument, you talk about hype moments. Vegeta getting stabbed, yeah. How about Vegeta crashing out on Namek? How about Vegeta dying on Namek? You talk about Goku getting mad, how about Goku turning Super Saiyan on Namek? Tien is the most held character in Dragon Ball. You could argue he's one of them, but at that point, I would go Piccolo. Because everything you could say for Tien, you would just argue Piccolo logically fits better for it. If you're going to say relatively to the Saiyans, Piccolo was always relative to the Saiyans. You're going to say that brutalized fight scenes and getting cooked in certain scenarios, Piccolo gets fucking barba-fried consistently. And he even is presented into more situations than Tien later on. And as a result, when he loses in those situations, it's like, damn. So unless you're going for screen time equals Hode, go for it. But I think when I'm talking about Hode, I'm talking about a character that is literally there on my screen and done dirty. I think Piccolo definitely takes the cake. For all of my annoying side character, main character takes that TSO has, Tien is probably one of the louder ones that you guys have had that I've probably somewhat agreed with. That Tien, it always was deflating that he didn't keep up with the Saiyans, but it definitely doesn't make sense that Piccolo was no longer able to. And I'm glad that superhero happened. Vegeta deserves a win on a main villain. So this is a cold take. The question is, do I agree with you? Probably. You could probably do it, but you don't have to do it in a way where he has to surpass Goku. And if he does surpass Goku, that'd be cool, but you don't have to do that. And I feel like that's what Vegeta fans really want. You don't have to do that. You can tell a story about Goku being the strongest in hell. Goku's whole thing is getting caught lacking time in and time out. Being too cocky time in and time out. It's very easy to write that hell.
You did.
And they, for some reason, went time travel mode and gave it to Goku anyway. I feel like Super Saiyan Rage is basically what Vegeta did after Trunks was killed in the Cell Saga and Bulma was slapped in Battle of the Gods, but visually sold different. This for sure gonna trigger a lot of y'all. I've given this a lot of thought, but my explanation is, you ready? Okay. DBS superhero over DBS Broly. That's not a pitchforks thing. It's not a pitchforks thing. It's debatable. That's not the worst take. People like Broly more. Broly's a more compelling antagonist for the film, so I could see no. But do I think it's a triggering thing, or should it be a triggering thing if this is low-key a hot take? No, because the fights in Dragon Ball Superhero are amazing. The story in Dragon Ball Superhero is really good, and it even appeals to the fan base that is tired of seeing Goku and Vegeta. Hell, it actually doesn't, because we get a fantastic B-plot and Goku and Vegeta training all along while Broly's watching. Beerus having a crush on Chi-Lai, and we even see Vegeta get another dub on Goku. So nah, I don't think this is a take that triggers people. I just think I probably disagree. Because as damn good as the story is in Superhero, and as adorable as fucking Pan is, shout out to Pan, I gotta say that DBS Broly just better build up and a more believable antagonist. Probably Solo's there. Not that Broly himself is, oh my god, ooga booga cool. I just think that the build up to the literal antagonist of the film was better.
Subscribe to the channel and become a member, man. That's where all the uncut stuff is. Follow up the Twitch as well.